right, folks, welcome back to another very interesting, very new, very cool episode of the BoomBastiCAST today, where we're dipping into the old archives, aren't we, Alex?
Ooh, yes, the old archives, like Indiana Jones looking for the lost Ark of the Covenant in the warehouse he left it all those years ago. We decided that, as you all know, we, of course, have the video show. We also have audio shows that we put strictly on Spotify that we don't do videos for. But we thought since so many people have been, tuning in and loving the video show, we decided to go back and grab one of the shows that we did actually near the very beginning of all the interviews we started doing, and grab one of the audio shows and give you a special from the archives episode, one of our personal favorites. Right, Matt?
That's for sure.
Yeah.
We every now and then we kick into gear heavy when it comes to interviews, and we'll find ourselves just like banging them out every weekend for a gigantic amount of time. You know what I mean? And they add up, and you want them to be released, and you know what I mean? It's just one of those things, and it's good that we can kind of bring this back and put it out there. And we want to do some archive stuff. And we got a new film in the mix too for anybody that watches the BoomBastiCAST. You'll get the scoop. And it's a good deal. So while we're hard at work on that, we thought, we've had an episode edited up, waiting for the perfect time to drop on your mind. So what better time to get greasy with y'all than today? All right.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good, without any further ado, I think we can let them enter into the vault, the BoomBastiCAST vault. Now, close your eyes as we peel back the foliage and the moss and the fake grass and roots to lift up the mountain like the Bat Cave would be done as you slide in to the BoomBastiCAST lair for this archived adventure with the great Michael St. Michaels.
Boy, do we have a treat for y'all out there this evening right here. You know what I mean? We hope everybody's excited. If we know we tender to the highly educated people, so we get an idea, who's on the show already by reading the title. You know what I mean? But in case you don't know, we got Michael St. Michaels in the building from a film that I love, The Greasy Strangler, man. He's been in a bunch of things, but Greasy Strangler is the film I feel. I love that film, you know what I mean? We're going to take a walk down the entire memory lane career-wise. So we'll get to The Greasy Strangler, all right? We'll strangle our way into submission into that. But, where did you catch the acting bug? We'll start with that.
I always had it. I mean, my first time on television, I think I was in preschool. It was a show called Happy Talk Time. And unfortunately, they asked what we did that weekend. I said, I went to a movie. And they said, oh, tell us about the movie. And I said, well, a car rolled down the hill and crashed, and a bear came over and ate the people. And they didn't think that was a big, happy topic. Yeah. So I never got to speak again on that show, but every day they gave me a set of Lincoln Logs or Erector sets. And that was on the old Dumont network in the late 40s. And the guy who ran the show was this guy, or the moderator, I guess, was this guy, George Putnam, who became sort of the Rush Limbaugh of his day in the 50s here in Los Angeles. He was a newscaster and like that. And
you've always lived in Los Angeles?
No, I'm from upstate New York originally. I'm from Poughkeepsie.
Oh, yes, Poughkeepsie.
And my father didn't think we were doing well in World War II, so he sent us to Mexico. And then I lived well, then we came back to New York, and then we moved to California and and I was back and forth between New York and California until I got into the Army, and then I have only been back to New York twice since then.
Yeah.
Which is a shame because the place is gorgeous, and I'm from the Hudson Valley, and that's really nice. You know, we're close to Sleepy Hollow,
Yeah.
and or you know, Rip Van Winkle's home.
Yeah, New York definitely has an energy to it for sure. When you
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You just get there. It's not only that quick paced time, you know, that New York minute type stuff. It's just there's an energy about it because so much cool stuff's happened there and continues to happen there, you know.
Yeah, and it was so clean this time because I was there with the Greasy Strangler the last time, and it just amazed me because the time before when I was there, which was 40 something years before that, I guess, they were having a garbage strike and there was nothing clean in New York, especially in Manhattan. You know?
Yeah. Now California is dirty. You know, it's the yin and the yang. It goes back and forth.
Yeah.
But what can you do?
I don't know. I was going to become homeless, but I couldn't find a vacancy anywhere.
They say being homeless is the new being rich. It's the new deal.
Yeah.
The new chic. Homeless chic is big right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can tell it's really exploding.
I have a jersey made of trash bags on its way right now as we speak.
Very good.
It should be so.
I'm gonna build a tent out of t-shirts that have me on them.
I like that. I support that. I want to make a sailboat. I want to make a sailboat on wheels that I could ride through the park on and collect change. I think I'd be a big hit if I did that.
Now that's going in style, man.
You bring theatrics to it. If you really put on a show, you get a little extra. You know, you get a little more.
Hopefully.
Give a little more, get a little more. You know.
Yeah. No, then I discovered punk, and with a few friends, we opened a punk club in San Diego, and that was great.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, it was a lot cheaper than sailing, and I got to do it every week. Whereas sailing, I mean, I was lucky to get out there a couple times a month.
Yeah, the club atmosphere is awesome. I've always said, like, if I was in a place, I'd love to be able to kind of, you know, go in on or kind of like work at one. It's just like a movie theater where it's just always entertainment 24/7. There's always something new. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's go, go, go. That's quite I mean, the schedule's probably nonstop, probably like a musician's. Just go, go, go. What would you think? What'd you think of that?
I was still doing hair then. So, you know, between Thursday and Sunday, I never got to sleep.
Yeah.
And, which didn't bother me. I mean, I'd show up to the club, I'd be exhausted. And by the time I got out of there, I was usually pretty energized from the music and everything.
Yeah, the come down. You know what I mean? They say that wrestlers, you know, like wrestlers, they do the big show and then they get out and they always go to the strip clubs and such right after because they're looking for like a little wind down. Their energy is so heightened from all the excitement and people cheering them on that there's no way they can go back and go to bed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, the club, like the Clubville, the hairdressing thing. When you're doing the hair, how'd that come about?
I just thought it was a great way to have sex. I mean, you know,
it really is, though. That is pretty genius.
I actually got pretty good at it. But
the sex or the hairdressing?
Pardon?
The sex or the hairdressing? Which one did you get better with? That's the real question.
Well, probably both. I don't know. It was, you know, because it's a craft. The more you practice, you know. No, it was pretty weird. I saw this movie Shampoo, and that changed my life really as a hairdresser. Anyway, I got serious about the business end of it, and got myself rated in the top 10% internationally for cutting. And but I always said if I could find something that was either easier or more fun, I'd switch.
Yeah.
And it's not easier being an actor or being in film, period, but it is more fun.
Yeah.
And or it can be. It can be a real nightmare too.
It can be, you know, it has a hair grows out, and unfortunately, these movies get to stay around forever. You know what I mean?
I know. Well, there's some out there that I was in that they won't go away.
Absolutely, for shizzle. Well, we'd like to run through the career a little bit. I know the first acting credit you have is for Different Strokes.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from because I don't remember doing it. But then again, at that time, I'd be working 1 or 2 jobs a day.
Yeah.
And I vaguely remember, I think I was there, but I'm not sure what I did.
Yeah.
And then
you hear that a lot with TV, you know, with the TV where every Monday is something different, Tuesday is something different, Wednesday something different, Thursday something different. It's just go, 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 go.
yeah, it is. I mean, you know, especially at the level I'm at or was at.
Yeah.
I know being locked up for the last year or so, I've been watching all these old shows. I got to see myself a lot.
Yeah.
And I kept wondering what the fuck ever happened to that guy.
The whole club atmosphere and you know, that atmosphere, the acting atmosphere. I mean, it's quite a jump. What you do now? You said you were doing like the hair stuff and the club stuff at the same time, and the acting as well. You were doing all of this all together, or
no acting? I made my great escape. There was a naked woman out in the street with blood running down her arms. Gorgeous woman, really, who had broken the windows of the house across the street. And as the cops drove up, she said the guy inside was a drug dealer and they kept his stuff over there, pointing to my place. And so I just sort of threw on some clothes, grabbed a Bible, I did find a bunch of drugs that I didn't know were there. I took them back to the laundry room because this is like, you know, cottages facing each other and kind of a hall or an open walkway. And I was coming out of the back when the cops came up to my door and they looked at me and says, "Who are you?" And I gave them my manager's name. And they said, "What are you doing?" And I held up, I was going to church. And I left. You know, I think I got home. I got back to San Diego maybe 3 years later.
Oh yeah. And when you run the punk club, you got any memories of it? Where anybody? I'm sure a lot of cool people had to have come through. You know what I mean? Any favorites that you remember?
I liked Fear.
Yeah.
I liked the Naughty Sweeties. We did the last show that the Dills did. We had the Dead Kennedys. I think we did one of the last shows that Jello was in.
Oh, really?
And there were, you know, there was, well, I saw a decline of Western civilization because they shot a lot of that at our club in San Diego.
Okay. Yeah, I got that.
You could see my feet in there. They wouldn't show the rest of me because I was wearing a suit.
Yeah.
Something about we were getting raided all the time. I mean, we went on, nothing was bothering us. You know, we had good crowds, everything was fine. And one of my clients was a news director at one of the channels in San Diego. And she did a thing on the club, said it was a good place for kids to hang out because we didn't have an age limit.
Yeah.
We didn't, you know, if you wanted water, you would have to get it out of the sink in the bathroom.
That's punk.
We collected a lot of booze and stuff at the door.
Yeah.
But that weekend, the cops came every show we did and shut us down. And if I wasn't wearing a suit, for some reason, if you're wearing a suit in San Diego, the cops will let you walk out the door. And so I would take the money out so we could pay people because, you know, I mean, they were practically working for nothing, you know? But they deserved what they were owed. And that was, yeah, it was like, it was $1,500 to open the place and $40,000 in legal fees later. They threw the case out of court, and we would have sued to try and get our money back, but we couldn't find a lawyer to take the case. So that was the end of that. My brother, on the other hand, had a very successful career in music. He and Tim Mays have a place called the Casbah in San Diego, which is pretty famous. I mean, he also had a club in Tijuana for a while called Iguanas.
Yeah, I dig that.
Which was really nuts. I know for my birthday one year, he had the Cramps.
Yeah. Very musical family. That's cool. You guys both, you know, both get into the music scene.
Yeah, well, I don't know. He came to the opening night of the Skeleton Club and his car got towed, so he never came back. And
he took it as a bad omen. He said,
yeah.
Now, the first film, the Video Dead, we'll talk about the Video Dead real quick. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Very fun horror film out there. Now, you open up the piece. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, Alexander, are you familiar with the Video Dead over there, bud?
I have to admit, that's one that I missed. I hadn't seen it.
Alex is typically not your general horror fan, you know what I mean? But he loves it.
Hey, I'm getting into it. I'm trying to catch up for lost time. Give me a break, okay?
That's all you can do. That's all you can do.
I was really pissed because originally I was the first 20 minutes of the film.
Yeah.
Distributors made them cut all of me out and put more running around in the woods and shit like that scenes. I also came back and played a zombie, Jack, who died a few days into shooting, and I was the same height. Although I had brown eyes, he had blue eyes, you know, and things like that. But they didn't seem to mind that so much. And I had a lot of fun being a zombie.
Oh yeah,
I mean, I got killed as a zombie. I killed a zombie. I got killed as me, the person partying with the zombies. And but you didn't see the party scene, so
yeah,
because, you know, had this dead body at the thing with a cigarette hanging out of his mouth.
It's a very fun film. For anybody out there, a quick synopsis. It's kind of like some delivery men. They come and deliver a TV to Michael's character's house, and they go in there. They set it in there, and when you plug it in, it starts to play a horror movie. And you know, the curse is released, and the dead come out of the TV. Some very cool imagery in it, and the first person killed off. You know what I mean? And then take. I'd love to see this the director's cut with the extra 20 minutes. Very fun movie. We got a friend of the show, Chris McGibbon, gigantic fan of the Dead.
What was he? What was he? One of the zombies or?
Oh no, he's just a spectator. He's a big fan. He's a big VHS guy. He owns so he hunted out multiple copies of it on VHS.
Yeah, that was done as a limited partnership, and somehow when Avco Embassy went under, I got cut out of all the proceeds for the thing. But I know they showed it on TV here Halloween last year, and I don't know. I finally found a part of my contract,
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think I'm entitled to my 0.75%.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I made almost $30,000 off that thing before they went under.
Yeah, and I mean, it just got re-released on Blu-ray a couple years back, so there's money
Yeah.
being made on it. You know what I mean?
I'd completely forgotten about it, and some guy in Boston found me and asked me about it.
Yeah.
So I talked to him about it, but yeah, it was a fun shoot.
No, where exactly did they shoot that? Was that in
Well,
California?
yeah, the front door of my house is in San Rafael. The living room and the kitchen are in Mill Valley, and my bedroom is in San Francisco. It's a large house.
Yeah. You know, movie making
Yeah.
at its finest. Craziness. It's yeah, the Dead Next Door definitely well, what you should do is you should go pick it up on Blu-ray, but then mail Michael a check for $5 because he needs his cut. It's crazy when you know, and you deserve it, of course. It's crazy, you know, you hear these stories of back in the day where like the mafia put up the money and all this crazy stuff where like George Romero never made any money off of Night of the Living Dead. You know what I mean? Just like just madness. You know what I mean? Very unfortunate, but I'm glad that you try and get something out of it at least.
Well, I did. I mean,
You're in it. Yeah.
You know, I got to be in it, and for a while, it got me lots of free drinks at my local bar.
There you go.
Right.
That's always a good perk because I was a heavy drinker then.
Yeah.
And my local bar was a block away uphill from where I lived, so I could always get home.
Yeah.
And,
It is downhill to the house?
yeah.
Okay, that's the best way to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, just roll on to the front door. That's the way you do it.
You got to work with a good friend of ours, James Balsamo, and cool as hell too.
Yeah, that's true. I did that with Cade and Philip at the very first, you know, con I ever went to. I was amazed. I mean, I couldn't believe people were actually paying me to sign pictures of me, and I loved it. And Phil, when I met him, I had no idea who he was. He comes up to me when I came into the hotel. He grabs me, picks me up, swings me around, says, "Dude, you're the best actor in the world."
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, who the fuck are you? And would you put me down, please? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to see him in Indianapolis. I guess it's Days of the Dead or something that we're doing there.
Yeah.
He's going to be there, and I guess we can hang out on Saturday or something.
Yeah, James is a super good dude. Always working. That dude's 24/7, always doing something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, I was surprised. That was total improv, you know, and it got 2 scenes in his film, so that was good.
Yeah.
I mean, it was years before I saw it. I ran into him while we were making Smash Mouth. His booth was next to where our set was, and he gave me a copy of it, which I sent to Phil because he hadn't seen it either.
Yeah.
He hasn't spoken to me since then. I don't know.
Troublesome nature. Troublesome.
Really. Hey, shout out! Happy birthday! It's his birthday on the 30th.
We shout out happy birthday, Alexander Hawk. The gentleman in the picture below us is actually his birthday today.
Oh yeah! Hey, happy
just turned 40.
birthday! Blessings, love, and joy to you.
You know what I mean? Absolutely. We're gonna let's pop into a film that I love very much. All right, The Greasy Strangler. Now, I want to open this up by saying we make independent films, and you know, we'll see a lot of indie films, and some of them kind of miss the mark. You kind of see where they're going for a quirky comedy, but it doesn't quite work out. And the way that they use, in my research I realized that every little bit of dialogue was scripted. You know what I mean? But the way that it's performed, it just flows. You would almost feel it was very improv like. You know what I mean? So, how did you get involved with the Greasy Strangler? We'll start off.
Well, I read for an evening with Beverly Luff Lynn a couple of years before the Greasy Strangler. And I got a call back, and I read again for a different character in the thing. And I didn't really, I think I spoke 2 words with Jim when I was thinking about what I was going to do for the next part of the scene, because the whole thing was new when I got there. It wasn't what I did before. And then later, I did this show called, or this short called Making It with Katerina Fabrik, who they found her, and she told me they were looking for me. So I went up there, and the casting directors really worked hard for me, which is the first time I've ever seen casting directors do that, because I know I've had that job too. And usually you just, do your thing. Can you give me a little more of this or a little more of that? But they were very specific and very good. And Jim was in there for that one. And I know on the way out, he says, "Do you mind being naked?" And I said, "Well, I don't care as long as I don't have to see it." And he says, "We wear a prosthetic dick." And I said, "Sure, why not?" And that thing saved me though, because I never felt naked. I always had my fig leaf.
Yeah. Yeah, no, not to pull back the curtain too much, but
yeah, and I didn't realize how many times I would end up seeing that film.
Which it's a good thing overall, yeah.
I mean, the first time I saw it, I was in shock because I have a mental image of myself, and that wasn't it. I remember during the Q&A, somebody said, "Grab that microphone away from him." And by the next day, I started thinking, well, in 10 years, I'm going to wish I looked that good.
That's how it goes, yeah. Yeah, it looks super uncomfortable. To pull back the curtain a little more, I believe it for a lot of it's you got like a bodysuit on type deal. That's all. Yeah. It's all greased up, yeah. And then a little on the face.
That stuff was horrible. That stuff would give you frostbite in the Sahara in the summer. It's ice that they use under it, and it's all menthol and something else. But I mean, you'll be shivering on a hot day.
Yeah.
In this stuff, and one day I had to sit. At first I was in the sun, and then because people were walking by, they built a tent for me to sit in, and I was in that for about 7-8 hours. And they put a space heater in there for me. But I couldn't go out because we were shooting in a residential neighborhood, and they were upset about kids seeing me.
But once it's released, it's okay. Everybody will see it once it's released.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. Somebody drew me a picture, and I have it on my fan page. As a 7-year-old kid did this thing, so I guess I'm now kid friendly too.
Oh, yeah.
So letting them watch it,
Captivating all different age audience groups. You know what I mean? Was Beverly shot before Greasy Strangler and released after, or
done later? I was supposed to go play the bartender in that, but I had an accident and ended up in the hospital. And but he brought me in anyway to be the voice of a cartoon in the background on a TV during one of the scenes.
Yeah.
So I mean, Jim has been really kind to me. He brought me to the Dominican Republic to do tropical cocktails. And I did 3 episodes of that.
Yeah.
And had about a month's vacation there because I only worked 4 or 5 days during that period. And the rest of the time I had this great condo overlooking a pool and a beach.
Yeah.
And with a restaurant and bar, the thing. And unfortunately, I remember they said, "Oh, you got sick yet?" And I said, "No." And the next day it hit me. You know, I learned how to sneeze and shit my pants at the same time. Wonderful talent. Get me out of the ocean, get me out of the pool. You know, I just didn't want to go down there and leave a brown trail behind me as I went.
Yeah, Jim's a super talented dude. He's definitely one of those people, one of those filmmakers right now that's like, you know, on the come up, so to speak, on the peak, if you will. You know what I mean?
Well, I hope he hasn't peaked yet because he's not that old. I just I hope he does well, and I want to work with him again. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, I seen the Beverly flick too. That was really cool. The evening with Beverly Loughlin there.
Yeah,
that was good times. You know,
I saw some of his shorts, and I like them.
Is that how you guys? How'd you guys first like get in contact?
Like I said, I went to this reading.
Just the auditioning.
Yeah.
Just auditioning.
And
Cool.
for some reason, they liked me because I usually don't audition very well. I know I've had 2 auditions since then, and I sucked at both of them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't take it seriously enough, which is bad because my job really requires you to do the audition, you know.
Yeah. It's true.
But fortunately, on the strength of the Greasy Strangler, people are just hiring me.
Well, that's the thing when you nail like a gigantic like a character.
Actually,
yeah.
Actually, it's funny. I have actually a little connection. I got to work with Carl Solomon on a film in California just a few months ago.
Really? Great.
Yeah.
He's in the Video Dead also.
Yeah. It was great working with him. He's a great guy.
He is.
Yeah, our Alexander Hawk down here is an actor, cruising all over the country, doing all over the world. He left the country last year. We're so proud.
And they actually allowed me back in, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah, well, they medicated you. You're not allowed in. You know what I mean? But yeah, the whole, you know, the Greasy Strangler, to go back, the great score. The score is fantastic. You know, they had a great vinyl release. I'm big into the vinyl releases now. That hat, I wanted to bring up the hat. That pink greasy hat.
Yeah,
It's got to be one of the greatest marketing campaigns that I've seen. Everybody had that hat. It was great. You know what I mean?
I have one of them.
I'd hope so. I'd be disappointed if you didn't have one. I'd be disappointed.
Actually, this isn't mine. It belongs to an ex-girlfriend who said I could borrow it, and she left it here.
Now it's yours. I love that hat. Can you still get them, or was that like when just the release they dropped them?
This is part of the first 500 of them.
Yeah.
They've had several runs since then. Sky is the person to get a hold of. He had some. I know he was selling.
Yeah. Yeah, and Sky, we'll talk about the cast a little bit. Sky Elabar, I think pronounced fantastic. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You know, Elizabeth Durazo, I also want to comment because I thought she was superb. Like, I think I don't like to say people stole the show or anything because I think if I was to say that, that'd be you, sir. But I think that she was phenomenal. Like, you fall in love with her. You know, she's very sexy, very fun. You know what I mean? And superb acting. You know, the because of the zaniness of the film, it's not exactly the easiest film to act in, you know what I mean? Especially if that's not your typical type of acting that you want to do. So
Yeah.
I could definitely see, you know, it takes courage for all you guys to kind of act in that film.
Want to do it?
Yeah, no?
No, shit, they dragged her in kicking and screaming, and kicked one of the producers off the set.
Really?
Well, before she would shoot. Yeah, I thought of all of us, she was the best of us. And
You three definitely kill it together. Yeah.
because Sky and I had a lot of differences going through that. We're sort of like Peter Lorre and Sidney Greenstreet, where Sky with Sidney Greenstreet's always right there, has all his lines down, had everything totally together. And I was like the Peter Lorre who, what was I supposed to say?
Yeah.
And, I've gotten better, but found out that I had this fungus growing in my sinuses that had started to get into my brain.
Shit.
And I couldn't memorize anything for a while. They got rid of that. And of course, we've been locked down since we got rid of it, but
Yeah. I'm glad it's gone. Yeah. If you guys had a great dynamic, and it's quite possible that might have helped that dynamic, you know what I mean? Because of there's moments where you guys get, or more, he gets frustrated with you more so, you know, but you guys both get frustrated with each other. And
yeah,
great dynamic. It was.
it's fun to work with because
Yeah.
you know, I could really piss him off.
Yeah.
And I really thought the Greasy Strangler was a family values movie.
Yeah.
I'm trying to teach my kid to grow up here, and
It's true. Take the ultimate sacrifice.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It is a family movie. It really is. You know, it's you know that he's accepted in, and it's a weird world. It's definitely that I love so much. What I love about it so much is the weird world it is. You don't see filmmakers, actors, producers that are investing in stuff ever take that's very outside of the box film. You know what I mean? It's like super outside of the box. And like what I was saying earlier with the dialogue, it's like it works the way that it's so snappy, and it works, and it feels so natural. And there's a lot of characters. I mean, there's the faces in it are great. You know what I mean? From the supporting cast all the way to the extras in the film. You know what I mean? They have a great. He's a master of using. He's like Sergio Leone, kind of. How he always really knew how to shoot a face. You know, I'd probably love to hear that comparison. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I blame it all on Jim.
Of course.
It's all his fault. Every bit of it. And thank you for
Absolutely
allowing me to be a piece of it.
You know what I mean? How was that set? You know, I'm sure, is it a, you know, like, I'm sure it's not, I doubt that it's very serious. I mean, you'll get the work done, but I feel like it's almost like a fun, you know, I hate to use the word fun, because when you say fun, people think you're just dicking off and not doing your job, but like fun is in the element of you're doing your job, but enjoying it. You know what I mean?
It was tough. I mean, that house was a wreck.
Yeah.
That scene where I'm crawling out from under the bed, I still, I got some kind of weird rash from the junk on the rug. There was a whole wall of black mold in the hallway. The street scenes we did have a lot of trucks, and it smells like an open sewer there too. The beach scene, we were just north of LAX, so we had lots of interference with the with airplanes and things like that. If we could have used every bit of time we had. The last scene, they put us somewhere and we're supposed to come skipping up hand in hand. They had the camera pointing the wrong way. By the time they figured it out, we'd lost the dark and they couldn't shoot it again. There were a few things we didn't get to do that I really wanted to do because I worked on how I was going to do them, but that's a movie, you know.
Yeah.
But it's great editing, and that soundtrack just really made it. I don't think it would have. I don't think it would have done much without that soundtrack.
Yeah, it's definitely it's very catchy, poppy. I mean, it's everything it needs to be. You know what I mean?
It sets the mood for every scene.
Yeah.
Andrew's a really creative guy. He's part of a punk duo in London called Fuck Button.
Fuck Button, I like that.
Yeah.
Andrew
That's a
Hung.
great name.
Yeah. Yeah, he's worked with Jim before. He also did the evening with Beverly in there too, and Tropical Cocktails. Yeah, they're a good collaborative team. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they are. And
Sure. I like to see that. You know what I mean? Music.
Yeah, it is. I mean, they. I don't know. Oh, what's his name? Harvard. You know, his co-writer.
Toby Hubbard.
Toby Hubbard. Yeah, he. You know, everybody thought he was just a figment of Jim's imagination until we got to Sundance and he showed up.
Yeah.
And I went up and said thanks for the words, and he said, "Oh, that was Jim." And you know, but I got to hang out with both of them on Tropical Cocktails because they were both there.
Yeah.
And they had, I don't know, they stopped collaborating after that. They got in some kind of argument about a film that they were working on.
Yeah.
I heard they were going to get back together again, but then when everything got locked down, who knows what's going on now.
I think people I think people appreciate those relationships more coming out of COVID. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think I heard Elijah Wood in an interview say that like the movie got kind of, after it was done, you guys held on to it for a little bit before the release.
When it showed at Sundance, it was not completely done yet. No, but it was there. I noticed some changes by the time we did the film festival here in LA for the opening in that October. It had tightened up a little bit more.
Yeah.
But it was amazing. I mean, there weren't that many people who saw it. And the next day we were, you know, running around doing interviews and everything. And I'm waiting in line to go to a bathroom, and this couple comes up and starts doing the hootie tootie disco dance.
Yeah.
You know, that had everybody staring.
I believe it. How was it bringing a film to Sundance? And it was like well received at Sundance too.
It was. I think, I don't know. I've never been there before. I'd like to go again.
Of course, yeah. Me too. Yeah, it's like as far as it goes for independent cinema, you know what I mean? I think Sundance is it. You know, you have like Cannes across the water, but as far as here, independent cinema, it's that, you know.
Yeah. I don't know. My favorite film festival was the Chattanooga Film Festival. I had more fun there.
Yeah. How is it watching? How is it watching it with an audience live? Is it real interactive, or like they react to it, to the screen and stuff? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I could see this being one of those films like Rocky Horror Picture Show, where they have people come and, you know, do the dances and stuff like that, you know, in middle of the movie.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I did. I went to Omaha for Creature Feature, which is a local TV show. where he had a screening and I signed autographs and Sky was there, and it was pretty good because the theater was pretty well packed.
Yeah.
And I
That must
like
have-
that.
Oh yeah, it must have felt great. I mean, to be in a room full of people watching and appreciating what you do, getting those laughs. I mean, you had to have felt fantastic. You know what I mean? It's a beautiful thing. And the Greasy Strangler is he'll be around forever. That's the one I think that will be around forever. It's really like a masterpiece of independent comedy. You know what I mean? I feel new age.
It seems to be growing still.
Yeah.
I don't know. I now cannot have any more friends on Facebook. They only allow you 5,000.
Yeah.
I think that's ridiculous in a planet with billions of people. Right. You can only have 500 friends or 5,000 friends. Yeah.
Yeah. They're trying to figure out a way to make you pay monthly to get an extra 5,000 friends. That's how it goes.
My cash flow wouldn't allow that anyway. I mean, last year I worked for a couple of days. I made $3,000, and I haven't worked. Well, I did a con up in Vegas, and but that's the only time I've been out of the house really.
Yeah. How do you? Speaking of the crowd participation, how do you like the cons? When did you first get started doing the conventions?
Well, that would be in South Carolina. 4 years ago, right after the Greasy Strangler came out. That's the first time I'd ever done anything like that. And like I said, I was amazed. People were, paying me to sign autographs, and I was well pampered. That's good. I was surprised that the Video Dead has such a following there, because people were coming up out of the woodwork with things from the Video Dead there.
Yeah.
And I thought that was long gone at that point.
Yeah, you hear that a lot. You'll hear that a lot about, because nobody really ever makes money off of them when they come out. That they just think that they're lost forever. They're in a some closet somewhere in the dark, trying not to deteriorate.
Well, actually, everybody made money until the distributor went bankrupt.
Oh, really?
The Video Dead, yeah.
That's a good deal then.
I made a few grand. Robert Scott, he bought a house in Malibu.
Oh, well, all right then.
He lost it in the property settlement, but because it went to his head,
Easy come, easy go.
He's I don't know. Last I heard, he was doing episodic television as first AD, and he may be retired now too. I don't know. I tried to get a hold of him, but didn't get any response. So.
Yeah. So now I know throughout one of the current films that you're working on with Sophia and Michael Epstein, with Neil, of course, Neil Jones, our buddy. Now that's that's convention based a little bit, right?
Yeah, it's we're selling blenders.
Yeah.
This is a movie that was 50 years ago, and I got fired. They hired this other guy to finish it, and that creates a rivalry there, where I was trying to ruin his career, but he didn't have one.
Yeah.
And then there's Fingers, which is out now. I did that in Florida. I've seen it.
It's on Amazon, I believe. I think it's on Amazon.
Yeah, I think they're all on. It's on a couple other ones too. That just came out not long ago. It was supposed to go to theaters and have a release, but they put it out on that. Mr. Juan Ortez is another one that makes movies, and He's got another one coming out soon, or he's making another one now that I'm not in.
Oh, we won't talk about it then.
Yeah.
And then Mike Lanzini, who did the action figure,
Yes.
and we did the 5 Golden Rings, which is on a couple different YouTube channels. It's on the Severed Limbs Film Festival, the second part of that, and then it's on the Kings of Horror YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And I like that. It's sort of like a Twilight Zone episode.
I love the Twilight Zone. You know,
Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah. The Twilight Zone, you don't see that formula that much anymore, where it's like usually in horror they're really going for the gore it out or something. But I love the Twilight Zone smart, twisty endings and the smart thinking type horror. You know what I mean? I'm glad to see that. So are you a horror fan, or when you're not making films, what type of movies you like to watch?
I watch everything I can. I've only walked out on one movie, that was Christine.
Oh, really?
2. There was another one called It Came From Within. I walked out on that one too. They were just too excruciating to sit through.
Christine? John Carpenter's Christine?
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
I don't know. There's just something about that.
He's a Ford guy.
No, I had a Christine car at the time.
So beautiful. Stephen King loves those car movies. He's got that other car, that Buick number 8 movie too. Are we ever going to see you directing?
I've done that. It's good to be king, but I'm not. I don't really have the stamina or the energy to do something like that. I mean, to do that, I would need an incredible amount of support.
Yeah.
And I prefer being an actor. I would like to be, I'd like to star in another film of some sort. But I'm really great with day player or character parts and things like that. I just love being on a set. There's something about it. I don't know. It's like being in the Army, which I really enjoyed when I was in the Army. But, because you've got all these people going in the same direction. But fewer people get killed.
Yeah.
And I mean, not that they don't die, but I mean, fewer of them have.
Well, as long as there's no bad reviews, right?
No, I've kind of enjoyed some of my bad reviews. I've had a couple of people call me a real hack. I mean, I think I post them all on my fan page. I mean, there are critics out there who will just tear everything apart.
Yeah.
And there are some who, totally ignore you. And there are other critics who think you're the best thing since sliced bread. I don't know. There's no counting for taste.
Right.
One of my favorite was this guy calling me a hack actor. Whoever he was, all right. I'll take that.
Line.
Get to work.
Yeah. There's a thin line between love and hate. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I mean, they take the time to notice you.
From what I'm told, I hear a lot of critics are people that like pursued that dream in whatever craft that it may be, and it didn't quite pan out for them. So then they became like critiques of it. So it's all coming from a bad place originally.
No, I don't know about that particularly. I know people who study film just to become.
No, there's good ones out there for sure.
They're important. They have opinions. Like, I miss Siskel and Ebert. I'm sorry they died.
They are too, yeah.
And I like Joe Bob at the drive-in. I
Joe
think
Bob's
he's he reviewed. I was surprised he hadn't seen the Greasy Strangler yet when I last saw him, but he reviewed Light Blast, which is the movie I got my SAG card on, and he also reviewed the Video Dead.
Yeah.
But and I really enjoyed his column when I could get it. Joe Bob at the Drive-In. He's wonderful.
Yeah, Joe Bob's a good guy. We interviewed him for a documentary a couple of years back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's a really
I
good
got to
dude.
do a Married with Children with him.
You did?
Yeah.
Well, let's hear about that. Married with Children. My God, talk about a show way ahead of its time. You know what I mean?
I did 3 or 4 of those. I also did In Living Color.
Damn.
I got killed in all but one episode. The only episode I didn't get killed in is where I'm using breast implants for tension relief at the office.
Of course.
Yeah, but
How was it working on Married with Children?
it was good. It was a good show. I mean, they were very good to you. It was fun.
Was that like?
Joe was the insecticide guy.
Yes, yes.
I'm not sure. I think I was just an extra on that one. But we sat down, had lunch together, and talked about some of the movies. He was looking for Rocky, the guy who, in the Video Dead, who plays the kid.
Yeah.
He disappeared. I know. I can't remember her name. The woman who was really the I thought the star of the movie. She disappeared. I know she came to Hollywood, probably got married,
Yeah.
and became a housewife, I guess. I don't know. But
Steadier work. There's steadier work in being a housewife, I hear.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Married with Children. You know, when you did that, when you going into a film like that, a show like that is like very punk rock and like gigantically huge, like is like the buzz around, like going on to it, do they know that they're making a very like cool punk rock type show, or is it just kind of just business as usual type deal?
it was business as usual for everybody there. I mean,
Yeah.
they had 100 and something in the can already by the time I showed up.
Yeah.
In Living Color, I probably would have become a regular if they'd gone another season. But it didn't.
We might bring it back. There's been talks of bringing it back.
And I did Hunter for 2.5 seasons as an extra mainly. I did have I did see myself speak in there once.
Yeah.
I finally saw that about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And that was cool because I'd never seen that particular episode before. Like I said, since I've been locked up, I'm watching all this crap that I was in that I never got to see because I was always having to work.
Yeah. That's all you can do. And it's streaming now. Everything's like streaming now. So
Yeah.
you see it.
And I still haven't seen the open house or duet episodes that I did. I'm sure they'll show up sooner or later.
Yeah.
There's a lot of little things here and there, that.
Hell yeah. Forget about it. Hawk, you got any acting questions? I know Hawk's an actor.
Well, just watching Greasy Strangler. I mean, as Matt said, it's a great film. I loved it. For me, I mean, I'm a heavy guy. I'm the kind of guy that like wears a shirt when going to the swimming pool. I mean, how did it feel? I mean, you were naked for a whole bunch of that. I mean, did you feel self-conscious at all, or how would you like maybe advise someone to get over that if they're doing like scenes in the film where they have to be naked or mostly naked?
Well, as an actor, you're a tool of the director. If you're self-conscious, you're self-conscious. Personally, I don't really care. And like I said, I had my fig leaf on. And you know, I never really gave that much thought.
Mm.
You know, it just.
They let you keep anything from the Greasy Strangler? Do you have like a rubber dick hanging up in the bathroom?
No, it's in a plastic bag in a credenza.
Good man, good man.
There were two of them. One of them fell off one night, and it's got Sky's footprint on it because he's.
Well, I mean, hey, you can always use it when you decide to bring a lucky lady home. Like, hey, you want to play with the Greasy Strangler?
Yeah, I thought I'd auction it off after, you know, the 10-year anniversary or something, if I'm still around.
You'll be here. What when signing autographs, what saying do they have you put on the autograph the most, or what you try to put you on the quote?
Well, I don't know. You know, usually it's keep it greasy, or
Bullshit artist.
have something they want you to say, or
Yeah.
they have. I mean, you know, blessings in love. I like just because I think that's cool.
Yeah.
But I remember Wendell Corey. He had a good luck in love was his thing when he was an actor. Of course, he's dead too now, I guess. But and I don't remember what Richard Boone did or Hopalong Cassidy, but I had their autographs at one time.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I had Sean Connery too, because I was his photo double and stand-in on Dancing About Architecture, which I'm not sure what the name of it was when it came out, but I got to work with a lot of really good people and learn from them.
Yeah.
And that's what it takes, I think, is, you know, now I channel dead actors, watch old movies and think about them.
Yeah.
And some of them I've met because I somehow got to. Yeah.
Well, that's how the craft is handed down. You know, it's a tradesman type job. You know what I mean? You pass off ideas and stuff. You know, when we first started our shows, me and Alex over here, we're from Massachusetts. So like, we're not in California or New York where you can like, be lucky enough to maybe bump into somebody at the coffee shop and get some advice. Or if you know someone knows somebody, you can go over and talk to them. So like doing the podcasts are kind of like our way of being able to sit down with, actors that we appreciate like yourself and kind of talk shop and get some advice and all that and use it as a good springboard for like other people. That's why we kind of like the whole film aspect.
Yeah. Well, the best advice I ever got was have a thought in your head and let go of your face.
I like that.
As long as you're thinking something, there will be life in the scene. And as long as you let go of your face, you won't, look contrived. Because, you let it do what it wants to do.
Yeah. That's great advice.
And
I'm gonna follow up that great advice with my one of my favorite lines from the film where he says, I normally lay 6 cum ropes and then it turns clear. Every time I hear that, I have to stop the movie.
It's all about my ropes, baby.
Yeah. Some of these, did it take like some of these lines? Did it take multiple takes to be able to say it without smiling? And I know you guys are professional actors, but like some of these lines are devastatingly funny.
With me, it took more takes than with Sky because Jim wanted it right.
Yeah.
And I did too. And even one day, I thought I came to the set totally prepared, and I was so wrong. I don't know. Because Sky and I did the rehearsal and everything was fine, and then we shot it. And he said, no, it's this.
It's a collaborative effort, you know what I mean? The whole way through.
It is. It's like I said, it's like the army, but you can go home after.
Yeah. Is Jim a gentleman of multiple takes? Or I know or is he one of those dudes that I know the dialogue's there, but he wants to try it different ways, or does he know exactly what he wants going in?
He doesn't he gives you some latitude, but no, he'll get it, he'll do as many takes as it takes to get what he wants.
Yeah.
And and when he needs. Sometimes you can't because time constraints. I know that scene in the park with when she walks away from me, the last bit of that was shot without anybody on the camera or anybody anywhere else on the set except Jim. Me. Because I had a really tight schedule as far as money went. And they their time was up. They had to walk away.
Yeah.
But the camera was fixed, it was running.
And the final frontier, two men in a desert. You know what I mean? What an ending to that film. We won't tease it for anybody who's never seen it, but my goodness. You know what I mean? My goodness. It's one of those things.
I was bummed with the firing squad scene.
How so?
Well, because I thought I was finally doing something where I didn't get killed. And we're out in the woods where it's nice and peaceful. Nothing is interfering with the shots. We get to kill Ricky Prickles and barbecue his eyes. And
yeah.
All is wonderful.
Yeah, crazy.
On this barrel and shoot me.
Yeah. Yeah. Blow his top. They blow his top. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
And that is grease, right? That's grease?
Hell yeah.
Okay, all right. Just want to make sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's extra virgin olive oil I make in my bedroom.
Yes. It's great. Anybody out there who's never seen the Greasy Strangler, go see the Greasy Strangler. I believe you can anywhere you can, you can go buy it anywhere. And I believe it's streaming on IMDb TV, I believe, at this moment.
It's also on Amazon.
And Amazon. Go buy it. Just go buy it. It's worth buying. Like I said, I watch a lot of movies that are comedy independent films, and you'll see a lot that fall short. But this is one you can put faith in and purchase because you'll enjoy it. You know what I mean? And Michael is phenomenal. I wanted to say that. I wanted to say that you're a great actor, and when you're on screen, you take charge. It don't matter whoever else is around. Eyes are on you, and you give phenomenal performances for real. I just wanted to say that. You know what I mean?
Well, I hope I get to do more. That's all I have to say. Yeah.
I think you will. It's one of those things, COVID came at a really crazy time. I mean, what can you say about that? But Yeah, we often, whenever we have independent filmmakers and such on the show, we talk about the momentum that everybody kind of gathered in the, going to going to conventions, film festivals, and all that, and you build up a repertoire and relationship with your audience, and then you like take 2 years of like nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think people are going to be rushing back in a good way. I think they're going to be going back to conventions. They're going to be like just loving the fact to get out and be able to do that again. And I think the movie making process too will probably get new filmmakers that go, hey, we could have just died. I think I'm going to try and make movies. So
Yeah, I was surprised they were. It was the subject of a class at USC.
really,
And, a couple student films for them because of that, which I haven't seen. I kept asking, can I have a DVD? And they, oh yeah, sure, and never got them. But
yeah,
and I did a thesis film in Syracuse, and that was nice. I got to take the train across country, and they said, well, we can only pay you the 2 travel days, the one to and from. I said, I don't care. I mean, I would much rather sit on a train for 4 days than a plane for 4 hours.
right. I agree with that.
Wander around, meet people. In fact, I met somebody on the train coming back who was sitting at the dinner table that I was at, and he kept staring at me, and he says, you look like that guy from the Greasy Strangler. He was a professor of English at a Midwestern college, and he was impressed with the film also. Yeah.
It really is a good movie, and to go with what you were saying about the family film, I think and people that would consider them to be more higher IQ, like professors, I think can still enjoy the film because it has that wackiness that everybody loves, and it does have that family element. You know what I mean? Because it's like a broken family coming together that get a little more broken. Sometimes they get a little more broken. They don't quite fix. But they're broken together, which is the heart of the story at the end, is that even though what's better, being broken by yourselves or being broken together? Being broken together. You know what I mean?
Could be.
Amen. Amen. Well,
hallelujah.
I love it. Well, Michael, we thank you very much for your time. You know what I mean?
Having me.
Hey, anytime. We'd love to have you back on again. You know what I mean? We'll be supporting you. If you ever got a film you want to come on and support, you always have a home here to come on whenever you want to come on. Do you want to tell anybody where they can locate you, or like on the social medias or anything like that, or websites?
I have, I think, 3 or 4 Facebook pages, but if you need to get a hold of me, you can get a hold of Rebecca K. Feldman. And she's at Bix at thebix.co. And she will take care of you.
Yeah.
Or me.
Both.
I have a laundry list of demands now. I love that because of the Greasy Strangler. I get to wave with it, like taking the train across country.
But they're all worth it. Definitely get out there. Get Mike in your movie, man. He will make your film better. And that's not me just saying because he's a guest. He will make your film better for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I do guarantee improvement.
Well, with that being said, we hope everybody enjoyed the episode. If you enjoyed the episode, check out more episodes and support everybody on the screen right now. We all love it. You know what I mean? We're on social medias. You can check this out. We got BoomBastiCAST on all streaming platforms of podcasts. We have a Boombastic Media YouTube page, and we have a Boombastic streaming Patreon for anybody out there who likes to support financially. So, with that being said,
one other thing.
Yeah.
On YouTube, I think there's a thing called It's a Bad Idea. That's my acting class. where I work with really good people. But you should, we're trying to get subscriptions. So everybody should go find that. It's a bad idea. And subscribe to it.
I'm going to go subscribe to that right now, and everybody else should do that at home.
Please.
And thank you.
All right, folks. That was a lot of fun, sitting back here and watching that entire thing all over again. I'm very happy that we did this. It's good stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But from the vault, from time to time, you'll catch some of these glamorous things. That's why you see the microphone in the picture, you know what I mean? In the frame, you see the shirt. There's nothing on there. It's very behind the scenes. You guys are getting a scoop. The BoomBastiCAST behind the scenes from the vault, over in the warehouse doing it big. You know what I mean?
Heck yeah.
But is there anything else you want to say in closing?
I mean, other than the fact that it was a fun episode. Michael St. Michael is a fun guy. A lot of fun talking to him, and it was good to go back because I mean, both Matt and I haven't had looked at the actual video recording of this for quite some time, and it was good going back and seeing it. I mean, I like to think that it was definitely a fun episode, and definitely learned quite a lot about Michael St. Michael and the Greasy Strangler, a film that Matt and I both definitely enjoy.
I love it. I think it's one of the best indie comedies made in a while. I think it better than Napoleon Dynamite. I think a way better, funnier, wackier, weird film. It's like a more edgier. But the Greasy Strangler is a masterpiece within the world that it lies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Michael's done so many other cool things. You know what I mean? So it was good to kind of take a look back at this and see what's good. See what's good with my cow, and the younger BoomBastiCAST boys as we see ourselves age 40 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, cool beans. We hope you enjoyed this. If you want to pop on, we got that Patreon, that Boombastic streaming Patreon, where we're that's kind of even like the exclusive drops for the new, the new filming works. A lot of the main shit's coming through there. We're doing it that route, you know what I mean? Keep it on the hushy hush type deal. It's a good deal, sweet stuff. Put it in the pot, you know what I mean? Mix it up, make good stuff. So Alex, is there anything you want to say in closing?
Just that it was great going back to see this, and of course, I think both Matt and myself have grown a lot since then as podcasters, as people, as entertainers, and there's a lot more coming down the pipe, and we'll let you know as soon as we can let people know what's going on. And if you want a little more of a heads up than anyone else, as Matt says, join the Patreon. They're the first ones to find out what's going on with the Boombastic boys.
Early access episodes of our show, as well as all the other it's the only way you can get all the other shows in video format, uncut video format. It's a very beautiful thing. And yeah, like I said, we're doing we're doing like a production diary type deal and keeping up over there with this film, which is kind of cool. So trying new things for a new world, adapting to how the world goes and such, but heck yeah, this was good times.
Okay.
With that being that, we'll catch you all on the next episode of the BoomBastiCAST.
Peace.
Peace.